So consulting is, if your car broke down, I would be the one that would help you fix it. So I'm a mechanic for businesses.
Consulting is helping big companies solve their most difficult problems.
Businesses are bringing in consulting firms to solve problems that they either don't have the expertise to solve or they don't have the time to solve.
Hi, my name is Jade Haynes, and this past summer I was interning at Deloitte Consulting doing strategy and operations.
My name is Sarah O'Connell, and I interned at KPMG this summer doing government consulting.
My name is Blake Heimbaugh. I just finished up a summer at PwC doing management consulting. I think it'll depend on who you ask, but for me, I was either in Excel or PowerPoint most days. Since I was local, I was able to get into team rooms, just like breakout rooms with my team, and work a lot within the office. Most of the time working kind of side by side with people, not usually kind of sitting alone at my desk, headphones in, but sometimes doing that.
So this past summer I was doing a lot of M&A strategy work. So a lot of it was getting data from the client. My main client was actually the chief accounting officer since I was doing more of a finance role, but getting data from them, hearing what they would like to see. So this was working on, my project was working on synergies and seeing how when they merge together, where they can find these synergies. So a lot of it came from getting this data, figuring out where everyone's working in the organization, and possibly where they can see some synergies in the different organizational structures of both companies. Typically you either have Excel or PowerPoint open. So a lot of Excel is dealing with data and how we can best present it to the company. And then with PowerPoint, it's okay, how do we take these nitty gritty details of data and make it into a high level thing that we can pitch to a CEO in about 1 minute. So I think it's balancing those two skills and ultimately, and then using communication and communication skills to have conference calls with clients and day-to-day one-on-one things to kind of update them as you go.
So for my internship, I was traveling. So Monday morning, I had to get on a plane to go to Nashville. Every day, I would interact with the clients and go to the client site. I did a lot of work in Excel for financial modeling for state government budgets. I did work in PowerPoint. I led a conference for all state Medicaid programs to come to, so I had to work on that. I did a lot with my team after work because everyone travels to the client site. And Thursday night, I flew back to Chicago.
Getting to dive into these interesting problems that I didn't really have any exposure to, whether it be the industry or the type of problem. So I was working primarily in like mergers and acquisitions, like that space and the operational side of that. So getting to dive into new problems that I didn't have any exposure to is kind of the whole value of consulting for me, at least in my summer.
I would say my favorite aspect of my internship was knowing that I was helping people in a tangible way. So I had a higher purpose of helping people that were on the state of Tennessee's Medicaid program. So knowing that I was making tangible impacts on a person's day-to-day life is really cool.
So consulting has a lot of perks. When you're traveling, basically the company is paying for everything, so I think that was my favorite part. My project was in Orlando, so although I was working most of the time, I got to travel, which was very fun, and got to live in the Ritz-Carlton, have all these fancy dinners, so I think it's a nice thing to do when you're a young professional and looking to explore.
I would have liked a little bit more of a balance between the client-facing side and the quantitative side, but that was just how the project that I was on, that's how that shook out.
My least favorite part was probably getting up for those Monday morning flights. They were typically left around like 7 a.m., so that was pretty brutal. but then the firm paid for my flights, my hotels, my food, all my lifts, so that was nice too. Yeah.
Sometimes the hours can be long, and for some people who are more introverted, it can be a lot of working in the same small room for a lot of hours. So, but at the same time, you're doing a lot of challenging work. You get a lot of exposure, so that I think it definitely outweighs itself. But just be prepared for that.